Greetings and welcome to another episode of Bermuda's Feel Good Early Morning Show. Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pizza House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terry Tuku alongside Jackie Lambert, and we want to say thank you for joining us bright and early on this Tuesday morning. Jack, how are you feeling? It's the first Tuesday of the new schedule. Do, do, do.
You should play piano. I feel great. Like I feel refreshed. I had a great weekend. I went to the gym yesterday.
Boom. So you're a little sore.
So, and his shoulders and arms and like that was
So
fun.
your shoulders hurt, and that was like a release stretch.
To my biceps. I was doing curls and stuff. I'm like, ooh, I haven't done this in so long. So I know like right now I'm halfway decent, but I know tomorrow it's gonna be brutal. Like
Very brutal.
he's gonna brush my hair.
You better call Star. See if
I know.
she'll.
Should probably eat the brush.
I was just thinking that she'll probably eat the brush. She'll probably miss the entire memo and not get it together. And that's totally fine. Well, not really, because you need the brush. But we move. I definitely feel the same. Definitely feel refreshed. Definitely excited to talk to today's guest. If you are just joining us, make sure you go ahead and share today's episode because today we are going to be chatting with Mikia the Specialist. We're going to be discussing what it means to be a fit and fabulous queen or king because fitness is just not for the ladies, it's also for the men. So make sure you stick around for that. Before we get into that, and excuse me, it is a new schedule, but it's not a new format. Later on today, you'll be able to test your knowledge against Jackie in our trivia time. I actually have the cards right over here, so I haven't even looked at them yet. So we're all going to go about this process together. Now, before we get into what happened,
Like, oh, fun. Which is
very fun.
hard, and you won't even know the answer. I mean, that's actually better. That's better.
Yeah, I'm gonna look and I'm gonna be like, oh, this is difficult. We're all gonna try this together. And before we get into today's episode, I just want to give a shout out. Good morning to Karen Simmons. Thank you so much for joining us, as well as Janae. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we get into our conversation with our guests and our trivia time with myself, Terry, we have a trend report. So our Feel Good Walmarts are just going to be an open conversation where Jackie and I talk about the top things that we saw on the internet since our last show. So the first thing we have to talk about, Jackie, everyone's been talking about this, is the Tinder swindler. Did you watch the documentary? Yes or no? Let us know in the comments if you've seen the documentary and what your thoughts are on the documentary. Jackie's face is letting me know that I don't think she saw the
Yeah.
documentary. I
Okay,
knew it.
I have to explain why. I have to explain why. Because have you seen where she's like, who's the best scammer? The Tinder swindler, I can't remember his name, or Anna, like inventing Anna, and I could not put that remote down from watching it. I was just like, okay, one more episode. And I'm like, oh, I'll get to that, but one more episode of this. And honestly, she was so close to scamming all of New York.
And so I haven't seen Inventing Anna yet. That is on my list. So we did the opposite. So it's fine. So we'll both talk about the trend of scammers. Before we do that, good morning, Kathy Rogers. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, Scammer Central. Like I feel like this is like a trend right now because there was another young lady in California that went around to all these parties pretending like she knew somebody and people believed that. So what is going on? Like, are people just that gullible? Like, has social media allowed us to become
I
that
don't,
gullible?
I don't think they're gullible because if you watch it, she is so strategic about how she acts in front of who. So she'll use like she's very good at reading people, I guess. That's what I
Hmm.
got from it. So she'll read the person that wants to be best friends with the mean girl. It's kind of like
Hmm.
have you ever seen Gossip Girl? Yeah,
Not
right.
really.
That's a pretty new one. But you know how everyone wants to be friends with Regina. Let's use Regina from Mean Girls.
Okay, because I remember that's the one I remember.
Right. So she's mean, she's rich, she's pretty, she has the right. So everybody wants to be friends with her. So she has used that and what people want
Got you.
and used it to her advantage. So she is the quiet girl, she is the semi-mean girl, she has the best clothes, she tips the best. So you just see her with all this money. And so restaurants want to give her free this and free that to try and get the free publicity of saying that they were with I can't even pronounce her last name right now. Delvey, Anna Delvey.
Oh, that's her. Like is
Her-
that her real name or like her scammer name?
Watch it.
Okay, because no, because it should have sounded like the man had like five different personalities or different names. And it was really interesting because he basically claimed he was the son of a billionaire, a diamond billionaire. And it was like, for me, that was the first red flag. I was already watching this movie for the kicks and giggles, but I was like, wait a second.
So
You
she,
mean a billionaire's son needs you to get him money?
it's weird. But the same thing with well, Anna was just different. Hers was, oh, I'm gonna get my inheritance when I in a few years, and I can't get it right now. And my dad cuts me up. Like her story is very much plausible. It's very much what you would hear from these rich kids that spend too much, and then the parents are just like, I'm cutting you off. And then in 2 weeks, they're like, okay, here's your $10 million allowance for the next 2 weeks. Like, but the way she was spending, what she was wearing, how she was moving is very much, it seemed like, oh, money, like, there's nasty people that feel like they don't need anybody and they just abuse people.
Right.
Yeah. But
Gotcha,
she
Kamala.
time, but she was mean. So,
I'm really gonna see this. So it's like a series. It's not like a movie.
it's a series. I think it's like 12 episodes or something like that. I don't know, but the episodes are long because I was sitting there and I was just like, it's called Inventing Anna.
Well, before you answer the question, Jack, I'll let people know why you answer the question. So Kathy Rogers wants to know the name of the show. And so yes, Inventing Anna is on Netflix? Question mark? Okay.
And so somebody told me, they're just like, you have to go watch it. And then, of course, like I keep seeing the memes. Who's the best scammer? Who's the best scammer? I'm like, okay, so I just have to keep watching.
And it was the two of them.
Yeah.
Got you covered. Yeah, I haven't seen the memes of the two of them. I've noticed the Twitter swindler memes more than I've noticed the Inventing Anna. That's not to say I haven't seen them, but I have definitely seen social media talk about, well, the hashtag for Twitter swindler showed up more on my timeline than Inventing Anna. So I just gravitated towards that one. But now I'm definitely interested in seeing Inventing Anna for sure.
So the Twitter swindler, is it just women that he's scamming?
Tinder, yes, it is women.
Okay, so what I've noticed about all of these is the same common denominator. Everybody that gets swindled or scammed are gold diggers. They're using these rich people to try to make the next. So the finance guru that she's working with, he wants the next big break. And if he books all these hours trying to help her, that could be like millions of dollars. So everybody's in it for the money. So these women are taking out a loan for $100,000 or $200,000. But what's the
wow, I'm not defending the women in the tennis.
Billionaire, like, or are they actually really good people that are just like, oh, I feel sorry for him?
I'm not defending the questionable decisions they made because it's very questionable. However, the two women that they portray in the documentary, the first lady definitely loved this man. Like she definitely fell for him pretty fast. And then the second lady was trying to be a genuine friend. So from watching the documentary, I don't think these women like were trying to get his money, because if that's the case, they would have like made him pay for everything, but they would pay for it. They were paying for everything. So I don't think these women were gold diggers per se. I had posted it on Twitter and someone had mentioned like, this idea of being in relationships based on lifestyle. So I definitely think they kind of had this idea around a lifestyle that they wanted to live, and they were helping to kind of like, fund that lifestyle. And I do think that is what happened, but I don't think they were trying to get his money, to be honest, because he ain't got nothing.
If I lend you $100,000, like, am I lending it? Am I buying your love? And like, essentially, because that's the return. You're gonna want to love me, and then if you love me for what I sacrificed for you, and you're a billionaire's son, then I'm a billionaire's daughter-in-law, and I'm gonna live the same lifestyle. You see what I'm going with, right?
I do see where you're getting with it.
I still have to watch it, but watching Inventing Anna and the people that surrounded themselves, they were using her fame and her fortune to one up. So one of her best friends was like, "Oh, I love her, Anna. Like, oh, she's taking her vacation. Oh,
she scammed her friends too."
No, the friends. If you actually watch it, the friends basically scammed themselves.
They all knew.
There was mainly like 2 of them that were like, "Okay, I can pay my own way. No, I don't feel comfortable taking your money." And then. But if you watch it, like some people, she did dirty. But most times, like I can't remember her name. I'm just gonna call her Rachel.
The moral of the story is watch these two
Or the story
One's a
is pay your own way and you won't have any issues.
watch Inventing Anna. It's a series though, so it's not like you're gonna get a one shot deal. So do set some time aside for that one. Twitter Swindler is definitely a documentary movie. It's about 2 hours, so
As a
give yourself.
movie.
It's like a documentary film. Like it's not like these series. It's just straight through end to end, start to finish. That's
Okay.
why I asked you what.
I
What?
thought I thought it was a series. The way people were tweeting, they were talking like it was a series, and I was just like, I'm not stopping one series to start another series. Like I need to finish this one through.
No, it's definitely a movie, but definitely
Yeah,
make
I
sure you
watched
check
it.
that. And if you didn't know what we were talking about, don't worry because we've just caught you up on what's been buzzing on social media this weekend. We have so much more to talk about later on this week, so make sure you come back and see what's next on our Trend Report. But Jacky and I right now are going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to bring in today's guest of the day. We have Mikia the Specialist backstage, and we're going to be talking about all things fit and fabulous. Whether you want to be a fit and fabulous queen or fit and fabulous king, it is totally up to you. Jacky and I are here for it. We're going to talk about it shortly.
Same smooth sounds, different name. BCG Radio. Home of Bermuda's most engaging morning talk shows, The Daily Hour and Good Day Bermuda. Download the app available for Android and Apple devices. BCG Radio, your station for conversations and entertainment.
Welcome back to Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pizza House and Ariana's Restaurant. I am Terri Tuku alongside Jacky Lambert. If you're just joining us, please take a minute to share this episode because Jacky and I are about to bring into the conversation our friend Mikia the Specialist. We're going to be talking about all things fitness related. Before we bring Mikia into the conversation, make sure you drop your good morning greetings, your favorite good morning emoji as we bring into the conversation to help welcome her to the show because she's normally in the comments with you all, but today she's going to be front and center with Jacky and I this morning. So without further ado, morning, Mikia.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning? Are you ready?
I am ready. Yeah,
Perfect.
I have the heater on so I don't freeze. So yeah.
Oh my god, I have my little blanket.
Oh, my jacket too.
Wait, I actually know that in the studio. I know that studio's cool. But let's jump right in. Let's hear the backstory of how you became Mikia the Specialist.
It basically started with my own weight loss journey. When I was, I guess, just finishing high school, I put on a lot of weight. And it was like one of the focal points of society. People were like, oh my gosh, is she pregnant? I'm like, no, I'm just fat. But that brings in the aspect that what society's image has on us as human beings. People look at our bodies and take value from what we look like. And through university, I was losing weight, gaining weight. Then I fell in love and I gained weight. And at that point, I ended up finding a community in which I can actually thrive, lose weight, stick to it. And that's where I found Pearl. And from there, my fitness sort of just skyrocketed. I started to lift weights, do cardio, cycle to wherever I had to go. And I became an instructor and of fitness and of Pearl. And Mikia the Specialist comes from Pearl. My Pearl sisters dubbed me the Specialist because I am able to break down Pearl moves by looking at simple videos. And yeah, and then my clients were like, Mikia, you break down everything so easily. So I kept the name Mikia the Specialist.
That's perfect. And I feel like everyone needs a specialist. Everyone needs someone to break things down for them very easily so that they don't feel like, overwhelmed. Because I know you see that it's a pill trick or you see someone doing something fitness wise, you tend to be like a little bit overwhelmed because you're like, yo, I can't do that or I can't do that yet. So I definitely think it's great that you kind of embodied that particular title. Now, you kind of shared a little bit about why you got into fitness, but was it anything specific about the way society was viewing your body or how you felt about your body? And why did you get into fitness? Like, why did you actually even want to go on a weight loss journey? Because some people don't even want to do that.
Being fat was taboo. And the thing about it was, when I look at my childhood pictures, I wasn't fat, but everyone was steady telling me I was fat. Children would tease me. I understand children can be mean. So for the children, yes. they, they sort of have a rite of passage to live their lives and tease people as children. But when you get to adulthood and adults are telling you, oh, look at your collarbone. When you get older, you're going to be a fat woman. I'm just like, I don't know what that means. And then you watch people around you struggle with their weight and how they're eating, and you pick up their habits and you eat like them. And then you associate the words that they're using with yourself because you're doing the exact same thing and you think you're fat. But no. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, you did, because I definitely I know, and there's the reason why I asked it, because I'm one of the opposite people. Like, I'm struggling to gain weight, and so I just know, like, how society views the woman's body, or people, like you said, in general. It can be difficult to kind of like figure out, okay, am I doing this for my own personal reasons, or am I doing this because other people have teased me since I was younger about the way my body looks? So yeah, I think that's a perfect answer.
You know what's crazy? We all, like, everybody I know struggles with body image, whether it's maintaining it, gaining weight, losing weight. And we're society, and yet we're the ones that's constantly criticizing ourselves and each other. Like, at what point do you just stop and live your life and just enjoy who you are and love yourself? Like, why is it so hard for us to just mind our business and let everybody live?
And drink water, like Patrice says.
That's not wrong. Drink my water, my water.
Who cares, Jackie? No one knew. Like, just no one knew. It's just us.
Yeah, you started to highlight all the activities that you do, but what are some of your favorite activities and exercises?
My favorite exercise would be strength training, hands down, because I could lift super heavy weights, and then I would say pull second to that, only because I'm at this point where I need to train harder, but I know what comes with training harder on the pole. It's a lot of bruises. It hurts, but at the end, it's just like, oh yes, I did that. And, no one else is like me. So yeah, I don't know. First and second, those are my top two.
I love that. Good morning, Mary. Thank you so much for joining us for this. I didn't know Mary was on the show previously talking about her pill story, her fitness story as well. So we reached out to Mikia. I'm saying it wrong. I'm going to say Mikia all the time. It's Mikia, real Bermudian. Mikia. We wanted to bring her on to kind of also expand the conversation, not only around pill fitness, but just fitness in general, because as Kia just mentioned, there's other avenues to being fit. Now, Key, when it comes to fitness, a lot of us just focus on the physical. We just want to work out, we want to do pull, we want to run, all of that. What else do you focus on when it comes to your fitness journey? Like, can you talk about like some of the foods you're eating, and maybe if there's any mindfulness activities that you're doing?
For me, in the past, I would say year or so, I started a journaling practice that has brought so much clarity to me establishing a business, me working through the struggles that I'm having with my faith, and me sort of hushing everybody else out. So I journal and I get my thoughts down on paper, but I journal in such a way where I write everything. I have this moment of gratitude, and then I script. And the scripting part is writing the future as the present. Yeah.
I
love that. I really do.
That way.
Beg pardon?
I've never thought about doing the future as the present. That's amazing. But I want to switch things up. I want to talk about pill because you were my teacher, and I want to come back. But what are some common misconceptions when it comes to pill fitness?
That you need to be strong. That you need to have upper body strength. That's the main one. If I say to anybody I do pill dance, like, I can't do that. I need upper body strength. And amazingly, there's one student in class. She knows that she doesn't have upper body strength, but her attitude last night was like, oh yes, it's gonna come. I'm gonna get it, because she sees the examples around her. She feels it. She wants it. And that's the thing about mindset as well. You have to win it for yourself. Otherwise, that's how you set yourself up for sabotage.
I love that. And we definitely talked about that with the previous guests around this whole conversation around self sabotage and like how, we get into our own heads. And I know that one thing that I've done in my pole journey recently is have a playlist. It's called Silent Mode. And it's songs that help me to kind of like quiet, that person that's, telling me I can't do this or you can't do that or that trick's too hard or you don't have the upper body strength yet. So I definitely can attest to, the goal of, quieting, turning down that person in your head. Now, speaking of being an instructor, can you talk about that journey and how many years you've been into it? And like, how did you actually decide, okay, I want to be an instructor? Because not everyone, like a lot of us like to just be the student. Not many of us can be teachers. So can you talk to us about like, that journey?
To be an instructor, I think I had been doing pole for almost a year. And someone was like, oh, let's bring in a trainer so we can all get trained as instructors. And basically, we did the instructor training. All of us got certified. And it was just knowing and having the basic foundation to do the moves and being able to explain the moves. And you're right, not everyone is made to be a teacher, but it's a skill that can be learned. So it might take you some time to develop, but that was my route to being an instructor. And at that time, when I was pole dancing as a student, I was basically pole dancing almost 4 to 5 days a week. Yeah.
Wow. I'm just in one.
I was just like, whoa, that's a lot. Like, how sore were you? Because I remember I would finish, what was I doing? Mondays, and like Wednesday, I'd be like, my back. Because obviously I had no upper body strength, but it's definitely something that you can build on with all the moves that you do. But that sounds like a good sore time.
Yeah, I was sore constantly. My boyfriend at the time, he would rub down my arms. I would get soaked in the bathtub. Like the soreness would stop for a short period of time and then come back because we were always learning new moves. And we didn't have instructors back then. We were our own instructors. We would pull up YouTube or Instagram, and that's how we learned. And yeah, some stuff hurt, some stuff was really unsafe, and we know that now, but that's because education is it protects your body.
I love not that I love it like that is dangerous, but I enjoy hearing that you guys took your own initiative and had to like teach yourself, because we talked about this with Mary as well, and we probably had conversations off air just around how the industry around pole dancing and even sex workers has evolved over time, and so it's becoming more mainstream. So you're seeing instructors have online content, do online classes. So I definitely think that it's really great to see that you guys have been a part of that process as well. Now, I wanted to kind of come back to, you mentioned the pole kisses, the bruises. How does one protect themselves when they are, first starting out in pole, and even if they're a seasoned pole dancer? Like, what are some ways that we can kind of minimize our pole kisses? We probably can't eliminate them in general, but how can we minimize them and be safe on the pole?
One thing is good nutrition. If your body doesn't have the nutrients to repair itself, then the bruises last longer. Otherwise, you just have to take it. And whatever you're doing, make sure it's safe for your body. You feel safe doing it. If at any point you feel unsafe, then you just stop what you're doing, and that's all right. And the after fact is you put on Arnica gel, and that helps with the bruising.
I have never heard of this gel, and I feel like I just learned something new today. And Jackie's face looks like she just learned something new.
And I'm like, what is it called? Because I ever just go for bruises, period, because I'm always walking into doors and stuff. It's honestly, I don't even know how I did. I'm like, that table's there. How are you clipping it? I'm clumsy.
We now know anyway.
But speaking of pearls, speaking of instructors, what other classes do you offer? Or what classes do you offer as who?
For now, I teach power pole. It's a complete conditioning class. It's Tuesday and Thursday mornings. And if you're looking to get stronger on the pole or improve your level of pill, you're coming to that class. And yeah, I take you through off the pill stuff and on the pill stuff. Some things seem very, very simple. And you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how hard this is. I can't move my leg all the way up there. How do you get your leg up there? And it's just through repetitive practice. We work on a lot of mobility in that class as well with strength. And the other classes that I teach, pill play, it's a practice session. So once you have something underneath your belt, you can come to that class and practice. Or if you are just new to pill, it's a great class to start. And I'm there to facilitate teaching you new moves. And I teach pill 3-4 currently, and that is the advanced level, intermediate to advanced level class. So once you work your way through the ranks at your own speed, it's not a race. So take your time, learn all the things first, and then you can progress to pill 3-4. And another specialty class, which is coming in April, is pill lashes. We have been off from pill lashes for 2 years, and that is strictly for my curvy ladies, my plus size ladies, my ladies with extra fluff. And yeah.
What time on Tuesdays and Thursdays?
6:30 a.m.
Oh, I can't make that.
Yet. Can't make it yet. Maybe those which, because sometimes the schedule does change, and they have made changes. Like even over the last 2 years, thanks to the panorama, there have been some changes to classes, and even this offering, because there was no early morning offering prior to the pandemic that I remember. I could just ignored it, to be honest. Right. So for those of you that are early birds and want to maybe, take a day off from watching Good Day Bermuda, because we know sometimes you're here with us every Tuesday through Thursday now. But if you want to take a break and you want to get into pill fitness, definitely make sure you check out Mikia. And I have to remember to say it right. Can't believe I say it wrong all this time, because I usually say Kia, so I didn't even know I was probably saying the whole name wrong.
Do you love me? Are you riding?
Just take us right on track. Anyways, as we were, Kia, so when it comes to people that want to get into pill, like a lot of people outside of the upper body misconception, they don't want to get into it because of the stigma that comes with it, or they are just unclear of whether it's something they should do for themselves as a beginner, because you see women, I see a lot of women on Instagram doing these amazing tricks, and I'm like, bro, I can walk down the street before falling. Like Jackie just said, I'm slightly clumsy. So can you talk to the person that maybe is on the fence about joining pill? And do you guys have anything for people that are beginners or have never ever done pill before, and like what they can maybe look to in an intro type class?
Okay, so we offer pill versions only. So people who have never touched a pill or taking a pill class, you do intro level stuff, walk around the pill, do some dips. Your feet don't necessarily come off the floor in that class, and that will take you right into pill level 1. And that's where you start to build all the foundation moves to get you through all the choreo that you could possibly do, all the tricks you can possibly do at that level. And no, you don't need to have upper body. You wear whatever is comfortable. Your thighs need to be exposed. Lots of people come wearing leggings. It's fine, but eventually you're going to want to climb the pill, and wearing leggings and socks isn't going to help you do that. And you become more confident in your body, so you're like, okay, let me do that. But it's all right to stay wherever your comfort zone is until you're ready as well. We don't force people in thongs and say, hey, you have to wear this to fit this motif. No, if you want to dress modestly, I'm probably the most modest dresser. I like to wear shorts and a shirt. So, and I rarely wear heels. Most people force me to wear heels for photos and routines, but you do you. Yeah.
I love that reminder to do you, because I definitely started it's a meme on social media. It's like the early pill outfit, and then as you graduate, like you have other options, and like you said, like you don't have to wear no clothes if you don't want to. If you want to come in like your fitness gear, you absolutely can. And as she mentioned, no one forced outside of the photo shoot bit. Like the photo shoot part is probably like, okay, sis, you got rid of heels. But in class, no one's forcing you to do anything you don't want to do, which is a beautiful thing because as women, we breathe and it's a problem. So it's
Right?
definitely a safe space.
It's definitely, like I was just about to say, it's definitely a safe space. I have never had a better experience than when I was with you. Wow. Definitely supportive.
Thank you.
But one last fun question, fill in the blank before we send you on your beautiful day. Finish the sentence. Who is? Ooh.
Ooh.
That was a good one. We stumped her.
Pull is exhilarating. That's the first thing that comes to my head. Yeah, you make me want to pull dance. I've got a client to go to after this. So.
We love it. Get you ready for your day. Actually, Kia, also because we didn't put it up on the screen, so we do want, in case someone wants to maybe reach out to you, maybe they want to do a lesson with you, they want to find out more about the upcoming class in April, or they just want to work out with you. Can you let them know how they can reach out to you and the best methods for contacting you?
The best method is through Instagram, DM me, because on Facebook, what tends to happen is the messages get delayed and I don't get them till about a day after, but I'm still reachable at Mikia the Specialist on Instagram and Facebook, or you can email Mikia the Specialist at gmail.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Kia, for joining us bright and early on this Tuesday morning to talk about your fitness journey as well as you being an instructor. We appreciated the conversation and we appreciated your time. We hope you have a good day.
You too.
Thank
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Jackie and I are going to take a quick commercial break and then we'll be back to get your thoughts on our conversation with Mikia the Specialist, as well as wrap up today's episode with our feel good vibe of the day, which is trivia time with Terri. So make sure you do not go anywhere because Jackie and I will be right back after this commercial break.
Same smooth sounds, different name. BCG Radio, home of Bermuda's most engaging morning talk shows, The Daily Hour and Good Day Bermuda. Download the app available for Android and Apple devices. BCG Radio, your station for conversations and entertainment.
Welcome back to this episode of Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pete's House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jackie Lambert. If you're just joining us, we wrapped up our conversation with Mikia the Specialist just now, and we want to get your thoughts on it. So let us know in the comments what you thought of our conversation with Kia. We talked about all things pole fitness as well as regular fitness, because I feel like a well-rounded fitness person is the best kind of fitness person. But that's just me. I'm kind of biased in that regard. Jackie, what were your thoughts?
I enjoyed it. It's sad that society constantly puts so much pressure on women to have this perfect body, and it's just unfair. Like, let us be. Just let us be our great selves and love us for who we are, and we'll love you for who you are too. Like,
exactly. We don't pass judgment at first. Sometimes we pass it after the fact, but we definitely don't pass judgment in the beginning. I wanted to bring in this comment from Mary. I don't know if we brought it up earlier. She mentioned children are products of their environment, so it's usually learned behavior. Unfortunately, when we're talking about, the body image conversation and, being bullied for one's body, it is definitely a learned behavior. And I think the best way to kind of get out of that, change the narrative, is to literally change the narrative. And we actually have a clip that we're going to be talking about later on in the week, hopefully in one of our trend reports, where a parent is basically showing someone else's child in front of that parent, the other child's parent, I believe, that bullying is a no-no. And so we're definitely looking to have that conversation with you all in an upcoming episode. So make sure you stick around for that. And we'll definitely share it on social media so you can watch it beforehand and engage with us in that conversation. This comment from Karen Simmons, she says, enjoyable interview. Thank you so much for joining. And if you haven't taken a pole class, you're interested in taking a pole class, Jackie and I are clearly advocates for aerial therapy. But if you're not on the island of Bermuda and you don't have an opportunity to go over to aerial therapy here, find a pole studio in your area, check them out. Even if you do like what we just had a conversation with one of their instructors to kind of see, if they have anything. Yeah.
But it's
Especially
perfect for like, it's well-rounding fitness. So you get the arms, you definitely get the core. Oh my God. Like,
she's
everything. No, it's definitely a great way. It's a fun, sexy way to build your self-esteem as well as get stronger. So I'm definitely trying to sort my schedule out.
10 out of 10 recommend. I'm going to pull this comment in. I can't see it in advance. I'm going to pull it in and hopefully it's a good comment. If it's not, we'll see. Nobody has to wear heels for photo shoots or classes. We had to clear that up because it is not a requirement. I'm intending to do my first photo shoot this year. I don't know, bruh. I keep missing them. Like, I don't know why. Like, the creator just doesn't want me to be great in that respect, but it's okay. I'm going to try to get my life together and do a photo shoot. And Jackie, I'm trying to get you back to class. I've been tasked with the challenge of getting you to rejoin.
I have to rejoin
the fold.
I have to. So I've started everything back up again. And honestly, like I was going through a semi, like, I don't want to say dark spell, but like, yeah. And I need to get back into my routine of, being in my happy places. So the pool, the tennis court, like actually playing tennis, not just teaching. And I'm back in the gym. So I'm back in the gym. I have some hitting sessions set up with some friends on the same level as me. And next up is pool. So I'll probably see if I could slip into a class. If not this week, next week.
Love to see it. That is what I want to hear. I'm going to go back to the person that told me that get you back in the studio and say that we're closer than we were last year, which I think is a great thing. So on that note, we're going to wrap up today's episode with our feel-good vibe of the day, which is trivia time with me, Terri. This is the opportunity for you to try to beat Jackie in our trivia questions. I have 3, and I was going to do travel today, but I forgot to do my research. So we're going to go with these are the games called trivia swag. So we're gonna go with 3 from one's a TV show, one's a movie, and one's a Guess Who. I'm gonna start with the Guess Who because you're gonna get it really easily, and I just want to boost your spirits before the other ones. However, audience, if you do guess before Jackie, make sure you email engage@Bermuda for a chance to be entered into our 1-year anniversary giveaway prize. This first one, everyone still participate in it, even though Jackie, honestly, I might be hyping Jackie up. She still might not get it.
I'm like,
So this is a Guess Who. This person said this. You told Harpo to beat me? Oh, Jesus. I really thought she was going to get this.
Oprah.
It is Oprah. I really was gonna say if she doesn't say it.
I was, but okay. So I have to admit, when you're bigging me up, I'm like, I'm definitely gonna have a brain fart right now because it's gonna be like, okay, you're supposed to know this. She knew you was gonna know this, so you have to know this. So I got test anxiety.
Okay, no, there's one on her that I'm just not really sure about, but we're gonna try it.
Okay,
it's a TV show.
Okay.
Franklin, a young street entrepreneur who partners with a CIA operative on building a drug business in South Central Los Angeles. Even I was like, ooh, I don't know about this one. Big pardon?
The TV show?
It's a TV show. You're gonna have to pull in the answers because I can't see them. But once again, oh yes, you did get that right, Karen Simmons. This TV show, we're gonna try it again, and if not, we're gonna move on to I have a backup. Because, who?
Yes, I don't know.
Yes. No, sis. The TV show, Frank is this character, Franklin, a young street entrepreneur who partners with a CIA operative on building a drug business in South Central Los Angeles. It's just like, pass. I don't think the audience didn't get it either. It's called Snowfall.
I've never seen it. I've heard of it. Never seen it.
Okay, you've heard of it because I never heard of it actually.
As soon as she said Snowfall, I'm like, okay, I've actually heard of it, but I've never watched it.
Okay, so I stumped you and the audience. This last one is a movie. If you don't get this, sis.
Oh, Jesus, stop.
So, a legendary soul musician portrayed by Jamie Foxx in the Oscar-winning biopic.
Oh, Ray.
Jeez. I was like, she didn't even let me finish it. I meant you did that.
I used to watch that all the time. And now, I don't know if it's weird, but I'll sit there and I'll squeeze my wrist. Because that's how I used to figure out if you were attractive or not. he'd hold your hand and then he'd touch your wrist and he'll know like if you was his type or not.
One thing I didn't say about that, maybe I learned a lot about people that
You were
have
not like, stealing his money and stuff.
yeah, and not only that, but just how you adapt when you don't have the senses like the rest of us, or you lose a sense because he did have sight at first and then he lost it. So I thought that was really interesting just to learn that particular part. So it looks like Jacky got 2 out of 3. Honestly, the third one was definitely questionable. I wasn't sure she'd get it, to be honest. And it looks like the audience weren't able to get that one either. So we're gonna try again on Thursday. Don't worry, you'll have more opportunities between now and our 1 year anniversary episode to enter for a chance to win. And tomorrow's Feel Good Vibe of the Day will be Joke Time with Jacky. So make sure you come back for that if you want a laugh to get your morning started. As always, Jacky and I hope that today's Feel Good Vibe of the Day has you ready to make it a great one. Thank you so much for watching and engaging with this episode of Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pete's House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Too Cool alongside Jacky Lambert. We trust we'll see you tomorrow for more Feel Good conversations. Until the next episode, peace and have a good day, Bermuda.